Okay, if you've watched these videos in order, you'll know that in this play there is a destabilizing power of corruption, and Shakespeare is trying to represent how destabilizing forces can create instability and turmoil within people, within societies. Now, Macbeth's corruption, his infection, has been internal. This idea that his mind is being corrupted, his ambition is being corrupted on the inside. The moment where Macbeth commits that regicide, the moment where he kind of has that soliloquy just before he acts, that is the change. Immoral thoughts and immoral actions are different things, okay? Now, what I need you to know is that a Greek tragedy was always about like a high and noble man, really, rather than men and women, but sometimes men and women. It was really about the kind of a noble, high, respected character. It always takes a character from a high place, so like a noble, and it has them have a fall. And that fall is supposed to teach a didactic lesson. Okay. In this play, it is the action that is our lesson. We have to resist internally before this happens. If we do not resist internally, actions will become corrupt, immoral, etc. And this dagger is central. So let's do the analysis of dagger. First things first, think about that image. Why does he have a dagger? Because at the beginning, he had his brandished steel. This sword, where he carved through his passage, this sword on the battlefield enabled him to restore order. But now he imagines a dagger. This hallucination represents how corruption and immorality destabilizes. We have this final hint of destabilization, like if he goes through with this, he will be destabilized. Not only will it destabilize people, but it will also destabilize society, because corruption and immorality destabilize. So he hallucinates this dagger of the mind. A dagger is a small weapon, easy to hide or conceal. It could represent how immorality is quite deceptive. It's easy to hide it. It's easy to be immoral. We shouldn't build an absolute trust in people like King Duncan, because it's actually quite easily to wear that facade of a flower and be the serpent. So it's a small weapon. Not only is it a small weapon, a dagger is used to cut. Yeah, to cut away life, to kill. That's what he wants to use it for anyway. There's some really excellent analysis here. So if a dagger is used to cut away life, to kill, literally, he wants to kill King Duncan, doesn't he? Yeah, to cut away the life of King Duncan. But Shakespeare uses this image very symbolically. As Macbeth cuts away the kind of life of King Duncan, he will cut away his morality, because that has now been destabilized. He'll cut away his morality. Yeah, his goodness, his innocence. He will become a guilty man. And then think about who is it that he's cutting? Who is it that he's killing? It's King Duncan. Okay, and King Duncan is chosen by God. So he is going to sever his connection to God. How do I know that he definitely does sever his connection to God? What happens afterwards? He has that other hallucination, doesn't he? We call it an auditory hallucination because he hears it. He hears a voice that cried that Macbeth will sleep no more. And we know that sleep means rest. Yeah? But rest is your physical rest, so like the nighttime sleep at night. But we also refer to death as like the eternal rest. And this idea of sleep no more, having no rest, is this first hint of damnation. Yeah, this idea of he will never receive that eternal rest, he will go to hell. And in hell, you do not get that eternal rest, you don't get that eternal sleep. Sleep is life's chief nourisher, nourishes us. He will not get anything nourishing, he will be tortured. And not only does he hear that, but when he says he was most in need of blessing, he could not say Amen. Amen was stuck in his throat, again symbolizing that damnation. So we know immediately that corruption and immorality destabilizes, and we know that this action of Macbeth cannot be reversed. Okay? Macbeth commits regicide, which is a great sin. It is a sin against the king, a sin against the country, a sin against God. And what he does is he disrupts natural order. The natural order is God here at the top, and then Macbeth down here. He disrupts that natural order by betraying his king, betraying God. And by disrupting that natural order, he creates chaos, instability, and turmoil within himself and eventually within Scotland. Disrupting natural order, yielding to destabilising forces, giving in to immorality, being corrupted by malevolence, creates chaos, instability, and turmoil within oneself and within the country.